Disney Dreamlight Valley has been such a popular game over the last few years, but is it still worth the hype? To find out if this game is worth your time and money, in this video, I'm going to tell you what this game is about, what you can expect in terms of gameplay, I will tell you who I think this game is good for, my pros and cons, and of course, I'll talk about money. This is your typical life sim. You've entered the magical Dreamlight Valley, and when you first arrive, everything looks dark, gloomy, and kinda scary. At the same time, the place looks kind of familiar to you, but you're not sure why. As you start to meet the various Disney characters, you soon realize that they all sort of know you, but they've all lost their memories due to an incident called the Forgetting. Now, it's your job to bring the valley back to life, and to restore all of the characters' memories, and to rebuild your friendship with all of them. As this is a life sim, you can expect to do the typical life sim things such as growing crops and making recipes with them, fish, mine, crafting items, decorate, and of course befriending the various Disney characters you meet. This game primarily focuses on fetch quests and is pretty much a busy work kind of game. If you are someone who likes checking items off a to-do list, or if you like grindy games where you have to forage or collect resources and ingredients, this will definitely be the game for you. The quests in this game are designed to get to know the different characters and of course to advance the storyline. Each quest will help you get closer to solving the mystery of the Forgetting while at the same time interacting with the different characters you meet along the way. There are a variety of quests in here. For example, you may have to chat with some villagers or listen to them talk with one another. Some may be more interactive, such as gathering resources and crafting items, and you may even have to decorate the village at times. All in all, this is a game that truly focuses on the idea of busy work, and believe me when I say that there is so much to do in this game and you'll never ever be bored. Now, if you've played Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, you might be wondering how different can Disney Dreamlight Valley be? Well, my answer is that it's actually pretty different and it's a pretty unique experience for me. For example, Animal Crossing, while relaxing, did become a little boring for me as it was a create your own fun kind of game. I felt the main focus there was mainly on decorating and finding things to do in your own time. Disney Dreamlight Valley, however, definitely guides you along the game. What sets it apart is that it has a very strong storyline. Each Disney character has their own very strong personality in the game, and you can very clearly see that while interacting with them and while you help them out on quests. The quests are also designed to move the story along, and I felt that there was something always happening, and I was discovering more of the game through the various activities I was doing. Stardew Valley, on the other hand, felt more of an independent play kind of game. You weren't given explicit instructions on what to do, and you also had the freedom to do whatever you wanted, but there was no clear guidance on how to go about exploring or even excelling in the game. On the other hand, what I really love about Disney Dreamlight Valley is that it definitely does give you that hand-holding, as it very clearly tells you who to talk to, what items to get, and how to proceed. However, I didn't feel that the hand-holding was overwhelming, neither did it take the fun out of exploring and figuring things out on my own. It does a very good job at giving you the space to explore in your own time and doesn't force you to unlock characters or realms immediately, but at the same time, it was able to give me enough hints such that I wasn't lost, but I was never fully spoon-fed at the same time. Therefore, I felt that Disney Dreamlight Valley is the perfect balance between Animal Crossing and Stardew. While all three are relaxing, Disney was definitely able to give me that sense of purpose in the game. It was able to guide and entertain me with all the varying quests, but at the same time, I felt that I had the freedom to explore and complete whatever I wanted to in my own time. At this point, you might be wondering, do I need to be a Disney fan in order to enjoy this game? Well, my answer is no. This is of course a Disney game and all the villages will of course be from the various Disney movies. However, even without watching all the Disney movies personally, I was still able to enjoy the game. It will definitely be an added benefit to have watched the movies, and of course you will be able to recognize them and understand their personalities in the game. However, not knowing them will definitely not take away from the gameplay experience, and so I think it's available for everybody. I personally think this game also has something for everyone. If you like grindy games and busy work, there will be a ton of quests for you to complete here and so many resources that you can work on collecting. If you're a completionist, there are many different parts of the game that you can work on getting 100% on, such as reaching maximum level friendship with villagers, or collecting various memories in the games, or discovering all the recipes. If you're someone who wants to focus on decorating and beautifying the village, this will also be a great game for you. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons of the game. Spoiler alert, there are a ton of pros in this game that I think makes the game worth the money, but there is one con that you need to take note of, especially if you're playing on the Nintendo Switch. Now, the first pro is that there is something for everyone in this game. If you're a gamer that falls into any of the categories I mentioned previously, whether you're a completionist, you love grindy games, or if you just love decorating, you are bound to enjoy this game. This game really does their best to cater to gamers of all types. If you love busy work, there are a ton of quests to complete. There are story quests that allow you to learn more about the forgetting, and there are also friendship quests where you get to learn more about the Disney characters as you support them as they gain their memories. Each character has so many individual quests that you will truly never get bored. Be warned though, I have seen in Reddit groups that people have said that they even get overwhelmed playing it because of how many things there are to do. What I love about this game though is that you are never once forced to do anything within a set time frame. You are free to explore, unlock characters at your own pace, and complete whatever task you want in your own time. If you're a fan of decorating, I love that there are just so many items that you can craft and also buy in store. These items get updated each real in-game day, so you never know what you're gonna get. Speaking of updates, this brings me to my second pro: constant updates in the game. This game is constantly being updated by developers and is very well supported. I see the updates constantly in terms of furniture items or outfits in store. In fact, new characters and quests are being added to the base game as well. There is also an additional optional layer of the game called Star Paths. These are added seasonally where you will be able to unlock special outfits or decorations. These are separate tasks that you can complete that are completely independent of the story and are optional. This definitely does cater to the busy worker in me who loves checking boxes off the list, and if you're a decorator, you'll be able to unlock exclusive items here as well. These star paths only run for a certain period of time and they usually have their own themes. Having this additional layer of the game that is constantly changing and providing exclusive items definitely makes the game a little bit more exciting and adds a layer of depth to it. My third pro is the incredible attention to detail, and this definitely makes me feel like the game is completely worth the money. The storyline itself is already very thoughtful. While it is a Disney game, it's not childish, or neither does it feel like it's targeted towards kids. In fact, it's targeted towards adults with that level of Disney nostalgia. The game touches upon strong themes of regret, feelings of loss, and emotional well-being. I do feel that it's a very introspective game that addresses those feelings you might have had as a child or teenager, feeling lost or unsure of where life is headed. This is part of the main storyline, and I really like that it adds this layer of depth to the game that makes the game worth checking out. You can also see the attention to detail when you're chatting with the NPCs. You have the option of responding differently when talking to them. Some of these responses are actually quite quirky, funny, and even pretty sassy when you're talking to the villains. And yes, I said villains. You can definitely expect to see them around in the valley. What I also love is the responses that you get from the NPCs themselves. They actually respond differently depending on your answer. This really stood out to me as many games give you the illusion of being able to have a different conversation with NPCs depending on your reply, but they somehow always end up giving the same generic responses no matter what your answer is. So the unique reactions from each NPC in Dreamlight Valley really stood out to me and made the game special for me. Finally, I love the added detail called memories. Whether you're going about your task in the games, these little bubbles called memories are dropped. They are fragments of a still from any Disney movie, and it's kind of like an Easter egg where you get to find these fragments and put them together to form a screen grab from a Disney movie. There are so many memories to find, and I love this added layer of nostalgia, and again, it just makes the whole game feel so special and so unique, and definitely very Disney. I've talked a lot about the pros of the game, and honestly, I don't have any cons except for one. If you're gonna be playing on the Nintendo Switch, know that this game will have a bit of lag. I personally play on the Nintendo Switch OLED, and I do see some lag when I play. For example, when saving items to my storage, the game does pause for a couple of seconds, sometimes even up to 10 seconds before reflecting the changes in my storage. The game does glitch a little bit when sometimes my character freezes when opening up an item, or sometimes it just stops moving altogether. While the lags and glitches I will say are pretty obvious, they do not disrupt my gameplay at all. I'm able to move, farm, and collect items freely and pretty easily as well. There has never been a time where the game crashes completely, and the entire gameplay has already been pretty smooth apart from those lags. I've personally never played on the other platforms before, but I have heard that the game runs pretty smoothly on those, and I heard that it also runs pretty smoothly on the newest Nintendo Switch as well. So I would say that if you have a Nintendo Switch OLED like me, you're pretty much gonna be fine and you will still be able to enjoy the game the same, but just take note of this lag. Now, let's talk about money. In this section, I'm going to tell you about any in-game purchases, and I'm going to tell you about the DLCs as well, and whether the game and the DLCs is worth the money. So, after spending $40, I'm sure the last thing you're thinking of is spending even more money. You may have heard that there are in-game purchases to be made, and you may have come across this term called moonstones. Now, my short answer is no. You absolutely do not need to spend real money in the game in order to progress in the game. After purchasing the $40 base game, you're all good to go, and you're able to enjoy the game in its entirety without spending more. With that being said, what are moonstones and why do you see it in the description of the game? Moonstones are a premium form of currency. They can be purchased with real money in order to unlock exclusive furniture or outfits. However, again, not purchasing any moonstones will not disrupt your gameplay experience. You can totally continue to play the game without any moonstones. Depending on which game pack you buy, for example, if you buy an expansion pack, the game might already give you free moonstones that you can use to buy exclusive items. However, if you don't have the ability to buy moonstones, you are not missing out. As mentioned previously, there are star paths, and these are additional lists of quests and activities for you to do that are independent of the storyline. By completing star paths, you are able to unlock these exclusive cosmetic items if you desire. At the same time, you might be able to unlock some moonstones as well through the star paths. Therefore, in short, yes, there are in-game purchases, but only for moonstones that will allow you to get exclusive items, but not purchasing them will not disrupt your gameplay at all, and so you do not need to buy moonstones additionally. Now let's talk about DLCs and which game to buy. You might be confused seeing so many different versions of the game. To go through it simply, the base game is called Disney Dreamlight Valley. You will see this being sold on the Nintendo eShop as simply Disney Dreamlight Valley. If after this video you're still unsure of whether you're going to be the right audience for the game, I suggest just buying this one, which is the base game. I would also suggest waiting for the sale, as the sale price is usually 30% off the original. If you would like to just go for it like I did, there are many packs available that you can purchase. I personally bought the pack with both a Rift in Time and Storybook Veil. This was called the Enchanted Edition, and I bought this on sale for €56 after the discount. If you're interested in the DLCs after playing the base game, they cost about €30 each for each DLC, and these realms and characters will automatically be added to your base game. What's different about these DLCs from the base game is simply a new storyline, although it is still related to the idea of the forgetting, but you'll also be exploring an entirely new area with new quests and characters to meet. The DLCs are also constantly getting updated as well with more characters and quests. Do note that the worlds and the DLCs are definitely smaller than the base Disney Dreamlight Valley. If you're unsure, I still suggest going with Disney Dreamlight Valley as the base game, as there's already a ton of stuff to do. Personally, while I'm glad I got mine at a discount with the DLCs already included, I must say that I've hardly spent any time in those DLCs at all. I'm still playing the base game and have barely touched the DLCs as there is so much to do, even though I'm already 150 hours in. After listening to this entire video, is Disney Dreamlight Valley worth it in 2025? For me, I say yes. This game is constantly getting updated. The game is being taken care of so well with any patches or bug fixes. There are constantly new star paths with seasonal items that are available to all characters, whether you spend real money in-game or not. And with the new addition of Inside Out characters, I can foresee myself spending even more time in this game in the foreseeable future. This game is available on platforms like PC, Mac, Xbox, PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch. Let me know what you think about Disney Dreamlight Valley and whether you'll be getting this game. And if you're interested in game reviews like this, I also have a video comparing Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3 over here. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.